This radio is powered by Streamline, the superior internet radio hosting service that provides our SOCAN license coverage. Visit streamline.com.
Hey there, changemakers. Imagine a world where every small act creates a ripple of impact. At wearestarfish.org, we're turning dreams of a better tomorrow into reality. Join our global community of starfish where every person like you is a catalyst for positive change. Whether it's empowering education, environmental stewardship, or supporting local communities, we believe in the power of every individual to make a difference. Visit wearestarfish.org today and discover how you can be a part of the wave of change. Wearestarfish.org, because each one matters.
Like confetti in a windstorm.
Welcome to Story to Screen here on KPEO World Community Radio, where we're rocking the film world each week on Tuesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can go online, download the app, and listen in weekly with new guests and music, or catch the replay on wearestarfish.org. This is Story to Screen, and I'm your host, Eric Krefeld. Let's dive in.
On the boulevard, I'm not turning back. It's my parade.
Hello and welcome everyone to Story to Screen. I am your hostess, Prana Songbird, and with me today, it's really tough for me to get this name, but I'm going to do my best. It is Eric Vollweiler.
Oh my gosh, that's great.
Did I do it?
You did it.
I did it, guys. I love names. I love people who come in with these names that, no offense to the John Smiths out there. You guys are great people, but I got that one down. So I like to learn new things and I like to hear new names. And that is a new one for me. Eric, I want to welcome everybody to the show. And our guest today is Eric, and he is going to help us kind of understand a little bit about film festivals. Eric has been in the film festival world for many years, and part of what the job was, Eric, if I'm correct, was to get advertisements and things like that and sponsors for film festivals.
Yeah. So my background was I initially learned what a film festival was when I was in college in Boston. We had an event where it was a fundraising event, and I was in charge of all the students. So I learned through fundraising, it was a fundraising gala that was raising money to go towards the film festival. And then that was sort of my first experience. My second experience, which was the teacher and the granddaddy of them all, was the Sundance Film Festival in Park City, Utah. And I was a crowd liaison at the Egyptian Theater. And I really got to experience what a real film festival was, which was Sundance.
What is a crowd liaison? Because that sounds like a very fancy name.
So the crowd liaison and the job at hand was for me to make sure that the crowd didn't get out of hand, to stay in line.
Eric, you were security.
Tickets. I was security, yes.
You were security. Oh,
I was a security guard.
The
crowd liaison. I guess that's the proper way of saying security was crowd liaison.
Okay, I like that. Crowd liaison. Okay. I'm going to use that soon, but that is very cool. All right. See that people are learning something. All right.
But the truth and the love, I've always been good with people, and sales and marketing is a people job. So what took place was after those two experiences, I started reaching out. I was living in Los Angeles after that experience at Sundance. And the first film festival / music event I worked on was called the Do It Yourself in Film, Music, and Books, the DIY convention.
Yes.
And it's based in LA. So I reached out to the owner and I said, listen, I would love to raise money for you. He says, I'll try you out. And that was it. And then from that 2005 to present today, I've been raising money through selling sponsorships and advertising. I've also done other things like public relations, some social media, booking speakers, entertainment professionals. But my real focus is selling sponsorships and advertising.
Okay. One of the things that we really wanted to talk to address today, at least I did, was music in film festivals. I think that many people don't really take the time to understand how much music plays a big part in the film world, you know. And then for film festivals, now you're talking about mostly independent filmmakers coming in there, and the kind of music that they put in their films, for the most part, you know, you can't just grab, you know, your favorite song, you know, like, oh, that's my jam, I'm going to put this in my movie without, you know, specific permissions.
Right.
And it's one of the reasons that I thought, you know, you would be a great guest, so that you can try to help people understand that, you know, what goes into selecting a film, and for the film festival, the booking the films. As far as, have you ever had a film where it's like, you, okay, this one can't go in here because of licensing, you know, or failing
Oh
to?
yeah, definitely. I was going to say, for the people who are into music and the musicians out there, there's ASCAP and BMI, which are the main, kind of the top notch, like trying to get licensing for the films. You can go there, but there's a lot of independent platforms on the net, and you can just Google them, that have tons of great independent music from
Okay.
all around the globe. And if you're a filmmaker, a producer, or director looking for music, you can just research right off of online. Go to Google and look at these platforms and try to find the best music that will relate to your film, your scenes. You know, regards to programming, that's really not my background. But basically, how it works is, you either have a couple programmers that sit and watch movies for hours and hours and hours,
Sounds like a
or
fun job.
that's their only job, is to watch movies. Or you have like a board, so you'll have a group of people, like the board themselves will watch the movies, so they're sort of your programming team as well. And that happens at every film festival. There are either the programmers or the board of programmers, we'll say.
And they're scouring it to make sure that they're basically following all of the rules.
Right. Sound, music, cinematography, like everything kind of has, and it also depends on the genre of film you're looking at.
One of the things that we want to do with the Starfish Foundation is create, we've created this film club, so that, you know, kids can come and they can check out a camera, you know, and under supervision, obviously, they can use the equipment, learn to use the equipment, and then go out and make their own documentaries or short films or whatever it is that they want to do, so that they can enter it into film festivals. What kind of advice would you give them about doing that, as far as, you know, making sure you've got all of the I's dotted and T's crossed?
Our first, it will be creating the script. If it's most likely, I would say the best bet is to focus on short films, because to go out and do a feature, especially at their age, they're not ready. I would say focus on shorts. And then the genre, if it's going to be a comedy, drama, or action, whatever, or the documentary, it depends on the genre of the film. And to find a great team of kids that are all passionate, and they all want to create that final project of just getting it done and making this incredible film.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, working with kids in filmmaking is incredible, because they're so curious, and they're so like, they're like, wow. And then once the final product is done, you have a big screening party, and it's just to see their faces, to be like, wow, we just accomplished that.
It is a moment that is priceless. It's absolutely priceless. So, do you get to work with kids a lot? I know that you have a program that is community outreach based. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
So presently, I'm not. I just finished working on the Kiamba Black Film and Arts Festival, which was hosted by one of the nonprofits I've worked with before, the Hamilton Hill Arts Center. Mm-hmm. They're based in Schenectady, New York, here in upstate where I'm based. So this is the second year I worked with them on their film festival. So all the funds go towards the Art Center, which is all children. There's over 200 kids.
Wow.
That go to the Art Center. And I've also worked with them on their gala, and I've worked with June. They do a huge Juneteenth event every summer in June. And so that's just one organization. They're a great organization. It all started for me back again when I went to Emerson College for college when I was in Boston. The first experience I ever had was actually through college. A class was to create an entire play with kids from citizen schools, which is another nonprofit organization based in Boston and New York City. I guess there's other locations. And so they wrote their play, they acted in their play, they did props, they did lighting, they did sound, they did everything. We created a whole play. They created the program book at the end, to give out to all the parents. And the show was great. It was a small act play, and all their parents came, and the teachers from Citizen School, and I got an A. So that was great. That was in Boston. And then when I moved to Los Angeles, I got involved with the Los Angeles Police Department, and they had a program for inner city children in Van Nuys, California. And I helped with their homework, and I played basketball, and I did sports, and I was just hanging out and having a great time on afternoons after they were done with school. And Hamilton Hill, what else? Another organization I helped out was the All Stars Project, which is based in New York City. And, it was more about helping them promote their events and get social media to them to raise money for their organization. So that's sort of like my focus, but my passion is children and working with these kids. And I want to focus on fundraising for my future.
I love it. Yeah. I wish more people thought that way. If most people really got in there and participated in community events, not just their little local thing that, it's super their comfort zone, step out of the comfort zone, maybe not necessarily in your community, but maybe in a neighboring community. Come on, let's be friends with each other, drop down a little bit of those guards, get out there and meet people who are still just like you, just maybe a little bit different background, but just as eager to learn and fall in love with, some art form, whether it's dance or music or sports. Because I feel that sports, some of the things these athletes can do, it's beautiful. It's absolutely stunning to watch. So, whatever it is that these kids are interested in, just help guide them there. And like you said, it's an investment in the future. You get one kid that you take some time with, and that's one less angry kid that feels neglected and left out. That's what it is. Everybody wants to be in community, right?
And I also think that in just art, no matter if it's dance, music, theater, film, they can express their lifestyle, what they experience on an everyday, the challenges that they have at home, but to come and perform that and to let others know brings awareness, and it actually educates people that don't understand what goes on in urban areas.
True. Something that also just crossed my mind is what I love about film and filmmaking, especially with kids. It's funny. Children believe that they can do anything until somebody tells them they can't.
Correct.
And adults, you grow up suddenly, and now you believe you can't do anything unless somebody tells you you can.
Right.
And with kids, while they're still open like that, it's a great time to get to them and get them in film making in some way, or some theater or something like that, because there's so many moving parts, especially now that the world has gone digital.
Right.
It's not just about building props and lighting and things. Now it's animatronics and, it's pyrotechnics, and there's so many moving parts that a lot of kids, when you say, hey, do you want to join theater club or something like that, film club, they're like, no, I don't want to be an actor. And it's like, oh no, it's not about just being an actor. There are so many moving parts, and kids that are naturally athletic might be great doing some sort of dancing or something like that on stage. But if they want to do something else, like working with their hands, helping to build staging, or, or being behind the camera, maybe they got a great eye,
Maybe there's animation. Animation is
animation.
huge. Yeah.
Yes. So that's one of the reasons why I absolutely love the idea of getting more kids involved in the filmmaking world, of the arts, the filmmaking side of the arts, because it's hard to do it all alone.
Right.
It's so great when you get to say, yes, I wrote this, I produced this, I directed this, I acted in this, I wrote the score for this. If you can do all that, you are fabulous. You are fantastic. That is great. But it's kind of more fun when you get to play with other people.
And have a good team behind you.
And have a great team, building a great team, and putting all of these moving parts together to make, yes, a project that you can now sit in a viewing room and have popcorn and all kind of snacks and just like enjoy what you've done.
Right.
We're going to take a short break and we'll be right back with Eric to talk more about film festivals.
A film festival is a place where an independent filmmaker is honored and gets to show his or her work, and it's a celebration for the filmmaker. Working on film festivals gives me an opportunity to thank them for their films. My name is Eric Vollweiler. I work in the independent film industry by producing and marketing film festivals. A film festival comes together by a group of individuals who love film. And when it comes to services for the film festivals I work on, I sell sponsorships and advertising. I book entertainment professionals, do public relations, social media, and production on film festivals. Some of the film festivals that I've worked on include the Winter Film Awards and Indie Film Fest, the New York State International Film Festival, the Buffalo Niagara Film Festival, the Boston International Film Festival, the Garden State Film Festival, Marina del Rey, Silicon Beach, Artemis Women in Action, and Seal Beach Film Festival. To this day, I've worked on about 20 to 25 film festivals. My role is important for a film festival because to have a film festival in general, you need money. My main focus is raising money by fundraising and financing film festivals. No matter little or big, my goal is to bring money to the table. I love interacting with people, and I am a people person. I think I learned that mostly from my dad and mom growing up. I enjoy working with people. I learn from people, and I feel that this makes me a successful person in what I do. I don't just do this for me in a job, but I do this for the filmmaker, for his or her experience of being able to screen their film on the big screen and to celebrate his or her work. That's the most important reason why I do this, because I respect and think that all filmmakers should show their story through a camera.
Hey there, changemakers. Imagine a world where every small act creates a ripple of impact. At wearestarfish.org, we're turning dreams of a better tomorrow into reality. Join our global community of starfish where every person like you is a catalyst for positive change. Whether it's empowering education, environmental stewardship, or supporting local communities, we believe in the power of every individual to make a difference. Visit wearestarfish.org today and discover how you can be a part of the wave of change. Wearestarfish.org, because each one matters.
Welcome back to Story to Screen. I'm your host, Prana Songbird, and we're here with our guest, Eric, who is a big part of helping us to understand a little bit more about film festivals. And you actually have a few coming up, right? 2 coming up in the next 2 months?
Right. The next event is April 18th through the 21st. It's called the Jim Thorpe Independent Film Festival in Jim Thorpe, Pennsylvania. That's the first event, which is my first year working on this and the first time working in Pennsylvania on a film festival. So that's exciting for me. And we have a lot of great sponsors so far. And then the next event.
Have you been to, I know you haven't worked on a festival there, but have you been to Pennsylvania? Pennsylvania?
I was
before?
born in Pennsylvania, actually.
Oh, okay. So this is comfortable. It'll be comfortable for you, right? Unless
Yeah,
you
I have friends that are there too that work there, and so yeah, I know Pennsylvania pretty well.
All right. So this will be a homecoming for you because you're not living there currently, correct?
Correct.
All right. So are you going to spend a little extra time outside of the film festival to just kind of touch base with friends?
I am planning on it. Yes.
Hope so. All
I hope
right.
so too. I need a vacation from up here.
So where's the next?
So the next one is it's called the Power of Women Summit Film and Television Networking Breakfast, and that's taking place during the Cannes International Film Festival.
Oh, wow. When is that one? And can you sneak me in your luggage?
I'm not actually going, but it is on May 16th from 8:30 to 11:30. There will be panels, educational panels for filmmakers, and then they'll also have roundtables where the filmmakers can pitch their projects, and their finished or screenplays. They can pitch them.
All right, very cool. I actually got to go to Cannes recently, and I saw their Walk of Fame.
Oh, very cool.
And the hands in the cement, and I put my hands in several hands and realized that very big hands. And
oh, very cool.
Yes, but it was pretty cool, and just to walk around, I only got to spend literally hours there, not even a full day, but it was very memorable, and I would love to go back because it was beautiful. It was beautiful right there on the water, and
that's what I heard.
Yes, so if you can go, maybe next time, maybe next year, I would recommend it.
Thank you. Thank you for letting me know about it. Yeah, I've heard some great stories.
And I'm not afraid to just ball up in luggage, just throwing it out there.
Right.
If you can get me some kind of ticket in, I'm always looking to go back. All right.
So yeah, that's a little about me, I guess.
I think it's more than a little. I liked it. I thought it was a good portion of you, Eric.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming on to Story to Screen. We're going to sign off now, and good luck with your film festivals. I want you to keep me posted whenever you're working on any projects with kids. I would love to partner with you with the Starfish Foundation, and hopefully we can get you partnering with us on some of our things coming up.
I would love to hear about it.
Yes. Building these communities.
Yes, I agree. And what you guys are doing is wonderful too.
Thank you. All right, everybody. That's us. That was Story to Screen, and we'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.
This radio is powered by Streamline, the superior internet radio hosting service that provides our SOCAN license coverage. Visit streamline.com for more.
Hey guys, Eric here from Story to Screen. I am super excited this week. I've got Chantell Mccullough. I might have gotten the last name correct finally. Did I get it?
Yes, we're good.
All right, awesome. Chantell Mccullough. So Chantell is also, if you guys remember back a few weeks ago, we spoke with Diego. We've also spoken with Gina from Misty Blues. So Chantell is part of, this group of, and you guys are going to start to get to know that too. A lot of these blues singers and musicians, part of the beauty of what they do is they borrow each other. They come together, they do things together, and then they go off and do their own things. And so Chantell, can you tell us a little bit about who you are and how you got, to this spot here and
Yeah. So I, I'm a blues singer. I do that now. And it sounds natural from my voice, but my original kind of history with music was more with soul and gospel. So, and blues is, a cousin to those genres. So that's kind of how I got, hooked up into doing blues. And Gina from Misty Blues, as you mentioned, we are friends. And so last year she came to me and asked if I would be interested in, singing blues, which, where I live, I perform a lot and I do a lot of jazz, soul. I am classically trained, although I don't really do anything with that anymore. But she asked me if I'd be interested in doing blues with Diego. And so everyone in the Diego Mong band is maybe half my age. So, they were like, we didn't want to come to you, and ask. And they didn't really know me that well. So I was like, sure, that sounds awesome. And, things just kind of took off from there. We started rehearsing for the Blues Challenge. And we went out of the Albany Capitol Blues network. And, we made it into Memphis and things just kind of took off from there.
Nice. And you have this amazing voice. It's rich, it's thick, it's silky, but it's still really clean too. And that, I guess, and
that's where the classical training comes in. Yeah.
I was just gonna say, I was wondering if you were classically trained when I listened, because I was like, man, she's got that clarity that usually only comes with that. So
yeah. And it's funny when I'm singing my own music that I have written, and we've actually started to do some co-writing together. So I'm really excited, for what will come out of that with the Diego Mong band. But I also have, music that I do, which is more like in that Anita Baker, just long, beautiful phrases. For me, I think of music as healing. And so when I write songs, that's kind of what I pour into the song. And I often have gigs, which, not to say that they are sad, but people usually tear up or, have emotional experiences. And for me, that's a very important part of music, is that connection and the ability that music has to move us in different ways.
Love it. And I was going to ask you that too, as far as like, if you actually write, your own stuff as well, or if anything that we're going to listen to is anything that was
beautiful
written.
Roland, I do.
That is, yes. Wow.
Yeah.
I'm like, let me clean up a little.
Wipe off the drool.
Serious. Like,
yeah, that is my baby.
Yeah. That's gorgeous. So stuff you write. Well, first let me ask you, the songs that we're going to listen to tonight, any of those that you co-written or written with,
no.
or those are all Diego?
Yes. And it's really interesting because he is a really excellent songwriter, and really kind of writes emotionally. And that's not always something that you would expect from, someone of his age. And so that's another reason why, really the age difference between myself and, and the band really hasn't, been, an issue, because we all connect, music. That's a universal kind of thing. And it's really nice to see younger people really wanting to carry on the blues traditions. We do veer a little bit, I can say that there are times I listen to us and I'm like, this is kind of rock, or I feel like, if we let, Cam take over on guitar a little more, we would definitely be in that rock vein. But it sounds that rock and maybe that blues grit, that I add a little bit to our songs. I love that blend. We just kind of bring out the best in each other.
Nice. Well, he is definitely an old soul, man. I mean,
I'm
pretty sure he's older than both of us put together. And
yes, on the inside, yes.
Yeah.
And he can eat ribs like it's nobody's business. When we were in Memphis, oh my goodness. If he had 10 racks of ribs, we were there for like maybe less than a week, maybe about a week. He ate so. I have never ever seen anybody eat this many ribs. It was crazy.
That's awesome. How was, I mean, that had to be an amazing experience. How was it being there? And just getting to, I mean, I can't even imagine being up there. I tried. I really did. I wanted to be there so badly. There was like a crazy ice storm or something that night.
Yes.
And the night before. And I'm about 6 or 7 hours from Nashville. And I was geared up. I was ready to do it. The problem was is I had a video job that that afternoon or that evening or something like that. I was going to do it because it was right in Atlanta. So I was like, I will drive 6 hours to Memphis just to listen for a few hours and then drive back. That ice hit, and I was like, no. So what was it like being there with everybody and just getting to really like bam out on that stage with everybody else?
It was really, you know, something that I've never experienced before. This was my first time going. And really, because of Misty Blues, I've been able to do some, you know, major blues festival. But in terms of just, even though the weather was crazy and we were like -11, -7, you know, and when it rains and it gets like in the 30s during the day, the snow and ice would start to melt, but then at night it drops right back down into the teens. Now you have a layer of ice coating the streets. You know, we ended up missing some meetings and things that we had set up just because we couldn't get there just because of the weather. But in terms of the atmosphere, the people still showed up and came out. It was still busy. Every club was still packed. And people were telling me that usually there's even more. And I thought, I could not imagine there being more people down here just because of how tight every venue was. You know, you really were like, you know, crammed into every space. So that was very interesting. And that the audience was very respectful at every, you know, place that we played. It was really people that came who loved listening to music. They loved hearing new artists. We met so many people. One woman ended up, you know, purchasing all of us dinner, you know, at this restaurant while we were waiting for our results. Yeah, we just met so many cool people. We met so many great musicians. I have a new German blues band that I love, Blue Deal, that I met there. You know, it was interesting to see literally when they say international there, which I didn't know what I expected, but it exceeded my expectations. So,
Awesome.
and meeting different bands from everywhere was so cool.
Absolutely. Good deal, man. So the songs that you sang there, is there any song that you sang there that you're sharing with us tonight?
Yes, Sleepless. I did their Sleepless Nights. That's probably one of my most favorite songs that we have on the album. And, you know, it is more of a traditional blues, but I feel like everybody in that song has a little bit of themselves, you know, in it. And I feel like, to me, when I listen to it, I hear everyone uniquely. So yeah, that is probably one of my more favorite songs from the album, and that I did share.
Awesome. So from your perspective now, because this isn't a song that you wrote,
No.
but it is a song that you are delivering a message. So, you know, you as the vocalist, you become the messenger of that song. How do you pour out that story to people? And like, do you personally suck the story all in first and you know, like kind of grab a hold of it before you can send it out? Or
usually I listen to the song. So Diego may send me, you know, a rough track, and I listen to it, and I always respond with, do you want me to sing it the way you sent it, or can I turn it into, you know, my own thing? And he's always like, do your own thing, you know. And I always ask, because, you know, when someone's giving you their music, it's their baby, so I want to honor the spirit in which it was written. But he, you know, is always like, do your thing, whatever you hear, you know, let it happen. And so this was a song that was the melody that I heard was very different, and even the timing and the phrasing that I took on the song is very different than when Diego had originally written it and sent it to me. So I was just listening, and sometimes I'll listen while I'm in the car, and I'll just start, you know, humming with something. I got them sleepless night blues, right? And I hear that versus it was a different melody, and I heard a different phrasing, and I was like, okay. And that's really how music comes to me. It'll be one thought or inspiration that just kind of, you know, pours out everything else. And then the first time that I sang it the way that it's now recorded was really at the IBCs.
Wow.
And I feel like when we went to Albany, I feel like I had never really felt comfortable to sing and expressing my like true voice, if that makes sense. And that was one song that when we got on stage and did, it just felt like everyone was able to connect with that somehow and pour some piece of themselves. And I especially felt that and connected with this song.
Awesome. Yeah, I really like that song. So we're going to take a quick break. We're going to check in with that song, let everybody enjoy it, and then we'll come back and talk more with you, Chantell.
Sounds good.
All right, we'll catch you guys on the flip side.
This radio is powered by Streamline, the superior internet radio hosting service that provides our SOCAN license coverage. Visit streamline.com for more.
I'm the last one up in the house. They brought me down for a bit. I'm the last one up in the house. They brought me down for a bit. My mind is so awake right now, it won't let me rest. Hey, hey, hey. I need to go to sleep. I need to close my eyes. If I don't get some rest, I think I might sleepless night blues, and I just can't go to bed. I've got the sleepless night blues. I just can't go to bed. My mind is so awake right now, it won't let me rest. Oh, my mind is so awake right now, it won't let me rest. I would love to go to bed right now. It's so hard to rest my head.
Hey everybody, we're back again. I'm still here with Chantell. We were just listening to some of the music these guys are doing, and we got more good stuff along the way. We want to talk a little bit about this next song, Find My Way.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So now that one, sounds like some soul searching. What do you got for us there? I mean, what does that song mean to you? How does that song figure into you guys?
Yeah, I agree with that. The soul searching and just a song that for me is appropriate, for at Diego's age, being in your early 20s and you're learning about yourself, you're discovering. And while I may not be in that phase now, I can certainly remember what that was like. So it's another song that I connected with, and I like how he kind of starts it off with questioning himself, like, how did I lose my way back home? I have to find my way back. And whatever home is, home could be a place, it could be a person, it could be a thing, a concept in your mind. And I'm sure that he may have had kind of all of that in mind when writing it. And again, this was another song that he let me take a good amount of vocal liberty, especially towards the end of the song. When we're all just kind of find my way again. Yeah, just that kind of like just strong belt. And really, what I love about this song is that we never leave anyone on a ledge, right? So if I'm giving it all vocally, Cam is right underneath me, Chase is right underneath him on bass, right? Diego being the anchor, right, for all of it. So we really listen to each other, and I actually really enjoy live performing. I do perform with a decent number of bands, but this is my most favorite to perform with, and I would, my premier band that I perform with. And just the amount of listening that happens and response. And I think this is one song where even on the solos, that's really evident.
Yeah, and I mean, I feel like a song like that is good for any age, because I don't think we ever stop losing our way and finding our way. I mean, no matter how good we get at figuring out what we're doing with the different age brackets that you work through and the different spaces in your life, that as soon as you get to a spot where you're like, okay, I got this, well, then all of a sudden, and the game changes a little. And then you're like,
changes.
And then you gotta like, okay, now I got a whole new set of rules and I gotta figure it out again. And so it's one of the things I really like about this song too, is that it just reminds you that we're all here just figuring stuff out. We're all here just I think more than getting through it. I think getting through it is part of it, but there's also the making something out of it, like utilizing everything you can find here while we're here and doing something amazing with it, amazing for each other, amazing for someone else, amazing for yourself. Just really, if you, whatever it is that you were given, just using it as much as possible.
Yep. And sometimes I think that may be for me, that's what home is, the different gifts that I have or different talents, or sometimes I think the things that are like inside of you that drive you to be happy as a person and to be able to bring happiness to others, right? I think that could be an act of home, and finding your way back to that. Maybe that's more purposeful living, whatever that means for the individual.
Absolutely. And it, thank you for that song, because it leads me right into where I want to take us, which is talking about Starfish, because Starfish is the reason we do this show. It's a 501c3. The slogan is because each one matters. And this song is such a prime example of what we're attempting to do. So right now, what we're busy doing is building this virtual community. It's why we do this show. While we love you guys and we love your music and we love listening to music, we do have a purpose as well. And our purpose is so that as people listen to your music, they start to understand who you are and where you came from, what it all means, how it all ties together, so that they understand that there's a learning process going on here in life. And there are people out there that are having a difficult time with it. For whatever reason, for whether, there's a lot of different reasons people have a difficult time. And that's what Starfish is grabbing onto, is those people, because we believe that childhood trauma happens basically to all of us, which is why our mission statement is working with people that have suffered from childhood trauma. And people ask me all the time, they're like, well, isn't that like everybody? I mean, at some point in time, everybody had something traumatic happen. And I'm like, exactly. That's the whole point, is we're all in this together and we all experience trauma. Some of us are better at getting through it and getting over it and getting around it. And others aren't. Others get buried in it. Others get trapped in it. And some of it, you know, it really can break some people.
Yeah.
So we work with, you know, different groups of people. And one of the groups is like kids aging out of the foster care system. Another group is people that have experienced or suffered from, I never know a nice way to say it because there's nothing nice about it. But, you know, sexual abuse, just, you know, the abuses that happen throughout our lives. Domestic violence, just all that stuff that happens. So this song,
things that create trauma. Yeah,
this song is such a powerful song about how to get back what was taken. And it's one of the reasons I really, really like this song. So, you know, for you, I don't know if it goes that deep or if you just enjoy the melody, or, you know, because some people do.
It's a lyric thing as well. It's both. Yeah. I
Okay.
listen to music, you know, for the music itself, but also for the lyrics. So I'm not really a person that, you know, loves a song, but I don't really know what it says. You know, songs that I'm usually feeling able to connect with are songs that lyrically, you know, speak to me as well. And the music obviously has to be on point, but yeah.
Touche. Well, and the music is definitely on point. So, you know, yeah, this song, it speaks so much to, you know, who we are too, and what we're doing. We're in the process of building the virtual community, which is why, you know, we do this show. We do this show so that we meet all kinds of creative people like you, because I believe too that this process right here, whether it's singing, dancing, painting, sculpting, whatever creative activity you take on, I believe that all of those activities really, really help all of us to be able to work through whatever it is that we've gone through. And I do think it helps us to share that once we get out of that dark space and we get out of that hole and we do something like write a poem, write a song, sing a song, dance, paint a picture, whatever it is, we do something and we share that with the world. I think that is also what helps to bring other people out of that space too.
Yeah, I think it's healing for self, right? A lot of the talents that people have is healing for themselves when they're able to express that. And it's also healing for other people. I think it shows that it really, you know, epitomes that we are not alone. You know, whatever experiences you are having, there may be someone else out there who is experiencing something similar, maybe not exactly the same, but enough to where they can understand, or where whatever gift it is that you're sharing, you know, can benefit them for sure.
Absolutely. All right, well, let's jump out. Let's take a listen to that one, and then we'll catch you guys again on the flip side.
Sounds good.
I'm
right, everybody, we're back again, still here with Chantell, having some great conversation, listening to some amazing music. Before we get too far in and we lose track of time, Chantell, can you tell everybody how to find you, how to find your band, how to find your music? Let them have it.
You can find me personally on Facebook, Chantell Mccullough, McCulloch. And I have a page where you can follow on Facebook. We also have the Diego Mong Band page as well, which is Mongue is how you spell Diego's last name. And we're also streaming on, wherever you're listening to music under the Diego Mong Band. So that's if you're on Spotify, YouTube, iTunes. I use iTunes. That's where you can find us, and it's under the Diego Mong Band.
Awesome. Thank you. And yeah, you guys, man, follow, subscribe, listen. These guys are putting out some great stuff. You're going to really enjoy it. And they're just really cool people too, and that's one of the things here is just, when you listen to the music, you call into the radio stations, you ask for the music, it really helps to support these guys because this is part of how they get paid. They get paid through royalties, and the more you ask for their music, the more their music gets played, the more they make. And that is one of the ways you can support them. But you can go on and you can purchase their swag. You can purchase their music. Exactly. Just man, follow, support, do what you can to help these guys do what they do, because what they do is important. The last song that you've got, tell us a little bit about that one.
So that song is called While You Were Gone. And it started off as like, bluesy and now it's really kind of become, more funk, especially when I think it's the wah pedal, at the beginning, very kind of like, that song I think makes us all feel energetic. Even though the lyrics may be kind of counterintuitive to that, but it's a really kind of like upbeat, head bopping, kind of song. Another one where the Cam solo on guitar is just stellar. So I would definitely recommend listening and noticing when you hear that solo that he's 19. But when I listen, that's what I keep reminding myself, like, I'm in this band with people that I can be, the mother to, and they're making amazing, beautiful, just deep, and like they've been listening, they've been around it, for a while, and it's really, really beautiful to see that coming out of young people.
Well, I think that's another great thing that comes out of music is that, like, we were talking about earlier, that people of all ages can even enjoy the same stuff. We get stuck in these modes of like, oh, well, that was, the music from the 40s and the 60s and the 80s. But man, I love music from the 20s. I also love music from the current day. And I can connect with all kinds of people depending on the kind of music that I'm listening to at the time. And it's, I don't know. Yeah, I think it opens up different spaces for conversations with different people that might not normally happen if it wasn't for the music. So.
I agree. Yeah.
Let's jump out. We're going to listen to that one. We'll come back in and wrap things up.
I feel pain. One way without style. The lonely that truck while you were gone. While you were gone. So be calm, be strong, more hope, more doubt. I carried a great load, must read. But what you sold while you were gone, while you were gone, while you were gone, hey, while you were gone, while you were gone, while you were gone, while you were gone.
Hey guys, I'm back again with Chantell. We've been listening to some great music through this whole interview. And we get a little deep sometimes, and we get a little we get all mystical and talking about our feelings and everything. And so we were just having a little bit of conversation and some funny moments. So I was asking Chantell, man, like, does anything funny ever happen when you're just out on stage or out on the road? And she kind of had a little story that I wanted to ask her to share with you guys, because I don't know, it gave me a laugh. So.
When we were in Memphis, we did a radio show. Memphis Radio is what it's called. And so it was a live performance of the band. So it was funny, when we first got to Memphis, our first performance was actually for this radio show, which I had never done live radio performance. It was really, really cool. And so we take a break, and I'm thinking, this is radio. It's just going to be, the audio of what's happening in the room. Everyone's connected. And so we took a break. I get on the drums. I can keep a basic beat on the drums, but I'm definitely not a performer that you're going to call to sub in if you're missing a drummer. So I am sitting on the drums, and I hear my phone with a lot of vibrating. And I was like, that's a lot of messages coming through. So I'm like, let me just check it to make sure, nothing catastrophic is going on back home. So I look at my phone, and it's literally everyone in my family messaging me like, get off the drums. We can see you. You're on camera. And I'm like, this is live streamed. And I look up, and there's a camera like right in the corner. And I was like, oh my goodness. And so many people were telling me how funny it was, just because I didn't know we were being live streamed. So I was literally heckling everyone in the room, like, and just being so silly. But awesome. It was really funny.
I love it. I love moments like that. The real candid stuff. In fact, it's one of my favorite things about this show is that we get to be just super candid. They get to know you, Chantell, the person, just a little bit if you let them. And I feel like, we do that pretty well regularly. So thank you for letting people get to know you a little, because I don't know, man, there's just something about it that after people listen to this show and then they go see one of your shows, they'll be like, I know Chantell, man. I know she can't play drums very well. Tell them again one more time how to find you, because I want to make sure they know how to support you, how to find you, how to get your stuff. So tell them again.
So we have the Diego Mong Band, MONGUE, streaming on all major platforms where you listen to music. Then you can find the Diego Mong Band also on Facebook, and you can find me personally, which I, do my own page with a lot of uplifting things. You will really get to know, if you follow me, you will really get to know me. I share a lot. Well, I don't, not like as in posting a lot of content, but in terms of really being honest about, my life, things that I'm going through, and, just aging, right? And so that's under Chantell Mccullough, MCCULLOCH. And you can find me and follow me there. I have a decent number of followers, so I'm usually the first person that comes up when you look for that.
Awesome. Thank you, Chantell. Thanks for sharing all the great stories, the great music. We appreciate you. And you definitely will be someone that we call, and as we find, different young people that need just someone that can mentor them, whether it's, maybe a discussion, maybe a writing session, maybe a singing session, maybe a piano session.
Yes.
Right on.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
Well, we appreciate your time. We thank you for being here, and thank you for the music.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Story to Screen. This is Eric. Remember, every Tuesday night Eastern Standard Time, 9 p.m. You guys can catch it on KPEO or live. Then you can watch it on wearestarfish.org. Story to Screen. That's where you're going to catch all the past episodes. And now we're on Apple Music and Spotify and iHeartRadio and all the good stuff. So stay tuned. There's even more to come. So we'll check you guys next time. Have a great one.
Thanks for spending some time here at Story to Screen on KPEO World Community Radio. I'm your host, Eric Krefeld, and we're rocking the film world every Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can download the app or listen live, or catch the replay at wearestarfish.org, because each one matters. Catch you next week on Story to Screen. Keep supporting film and music. It's the story we tell that matters.